watch this. One of the things we're going to review to make sure you got fundamentally correct is the choke from the back. Okay? Now this choke is a blood choke. It's designed to slow down the blood to the brain. And we're just going to show you some of the fundamental ideas. When I get my arm around his neck, the point of my elbow is right under his jaw. Okay? I'm behind him here, turn a little bit. Okay, my body is here. This goes to my bicep. My left hand goes to my right bicep in this case. Okay? That's a really tight grip here. Notice how I face my fingers down. I put this on here, and as I turn, I have some friction on my bicep. This right hand comes behind the neck. I squeeze my elbows inward, pushing forward and squeezing to cut the blood on both sides of his neck. Okay? Doesn't take long to get a blackout, maybe 3 to 4 seconds. It can even happen quicker. Here. Shall we show it? Bang. All right. So, fundamentally very simple, but you need to do it correctly. We had another choke that we've looked at, and I just want to review that. And that is a straight bar across the neck. Now this is a whole different thing, and it's much more dangerous because now there's pressure against the cartilage of the Adam's apple. Okay? You can do permanent damage. You have to be very careful. Once you crush the Adam's apple and all that cartilage in there, you're looking at some major problems. So this is not a technique that you want to use without caution. Okay, notice how this arm lines up back here for leverage. I go palm to palm. It even makes me nervous just to practice it a little bit here. Okay, you're pretty nervous. It's a painful and potentially very dangerous choke. Notice how I bring him back into me a little bit, and then that bar is coming up in to shut the supply of air, and again potentially crushing the Adam's apple. Okay, if you crush the Adam's apple, there's going to be internal bleeding. That internal bleeding is going to fill the lungs up with blood. Not a good thing. You say we're going to review the back. Just telling them never to cross your ankles? Yeah. Alright, check it out. I've got my opponent in a predicament here. I'm threatening control, I'm threatening chokes. Look how I correctly place my feet along his inner thighs for control. Okay? Now, what we want to demonstrate here is you don't want to cross your ankles, because at this point I become susceptible to his arching and locking my ankles in a very painful ankle lock. Yeah. Okay?
Just take the top, whatever ankle's on the top, take that near leg, wrap it over. It's going to be under your knee. The top of his foot is right under your knee. Figure 4 here, and then just extend the hips through. And if you need to, you can kind of, whoa, okay, create some really good pressure. There's another lock from here. It was the shin lock, huh?
Okay, so he's digging his elbow into my shin right here in a very painful way. Now another way that he can get out is to grab here and look at that pressure. As I'm threatening here, he's creating pain compliance with this type of elbow digging into my foot. So as I'm here, turn this foot a little bit and dig that elbow in. Good job. Alright? Just a couple little fine points there. We can also attack the arm from behind, something that you won't see very often. Let's turn this way a little bit for our viewers. Okay, what I'm talking about here is as I'm working to get some sort of control here, if I manage to get this arm behind, as look at the power that I have here by bringing this arm straight up and looking for control here to attack with a straight hammer lock, basically bringing this arm up towards his back. Okay, I can do it here. I switched it from here to here, and now it's all about a submission coming straight up. Okay, be aware there. There's a couple of ways that you can do that hammer lock. Let me borrow you for a second. Right here, sitting down. You need to understand that the hammer lock can also be controlled here. You see that? And this type of motion forward is another way to finalize when you have the back. Okay, just to review a couple things, I've got my hooks in. I'll hold your base for a second. I've got my hooks in, and I'm going to seat belt, and I'm going to drive forward and break them down. Now I'm here, okay? I'm trying to stay light on him, but now I'm here. A couple ways that I can get his submission. Look at how I put my tricep by the side of his head, and I create space to slide in. Boom. And we've seen this choke just a couple minutes ago. Okay, in order to defend, I will put my face down close to this hand that's behind his head, in case he's reaching for this hand. Yes, if he's reaching for that hand and he gets it, he has a chance to survive. Now, if this is here and then I put my face in it, it's a different story. My hand isn't as easy to find. Okay. Now, the other thing we can do from here is I can bring this arm backwards. Once I bring this arm backwards, notice what I can do to get the submission. I'm still putting my hips into him, arching up, and keeping him pinned, okay? But I pin his shoulder to the mat with my head, okay? Then, without losing control of this arm, notice how I bring this here and here. And again, we're looking at a shoulder lock by moving it forward, a shoulder lock to get our submission. You see? The motion forward. Bang. Let him know when the pressure's there. Bang. Okay. So one more time, watch how I got there. I could have, back up a second, I could have attacked the arm this way, okay, boom, and driven and popped it back this way, okay. That's another way I could have gotten it. But once I get it, I pin, so that as I set and I do all this setting, this arm isn't going to go anywhere until I'm good and ready to take the pressure off of it. I keep that pressure on there. If this arm slips up here, I'm in good shape. I bring this forward. I bring this up. I bring it forward and up. Got it? Alright. Just a couple of things to look at there in regards to attacking from the back.